Jasmine can be on the vlog.
Let me...
And Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. So Jasmine and her family are at...
Luke is sick.
Oh, poor Luke. They are at my mom's house right now, so...
And look at what we're looking at right now.
They're watching the vlogs right now. We can't really see it, but that's my face, I think.
It's vlogception.
Yes, that's your face.
I'm kind of pasty white and get completely blurred out, so anyway. Oh, there I can see it, but the camera can't really. Oh, there they are. There I am. We really needed to see that.
Our vlog's on the big screen. Weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Welcome to Sunday, by the way. I probably would have already put the little Sunday thing at the bottom of the screen at the beginning of this video instead of right now. But welcome to Sunday anyway. Hi, it's nighttime. It's bedtime, basically. What you saw at the beginning there, I'm not sure how well it translated or not, but Jasmine is Giselle's sister, and we were talking to her and Giselle's mom. They're both at Giselle's parents' house in California, where we had our wedding. And so you might have recognized the house a little bit. I don't know, maybe. We didn't vlog too much in the house, I guess. Anyway, that's besides the point. They're over there and watching the vlog. They're catching up on our vlogs. They said that they had just watched. They're like going back kind of far and watching a pretty decent amount, like back to back, like binge watching our vlog, like crazy, like literally all day. Like they rewatched our wedding vlog, and which is cool, and makes me really happy because I rewatch our wedding vlog all the time. Not gonna lie, and our honeymoon vlogs, I love those. Easily my favorite vlogs. Like obviously just because they were really fun days, and it's really fun to relive those days. But they're favorites of mine because of that, because they're just I rewatched some of our favorite days. Like I should make a playlist at some point of like my favorite days that we've captured. Like either because that day was really cool, or because I thought I did a good job editing it, and that's like a mix of those vlogs, the wedding and honeymoon vlogs. Like I love watching those. I don't know why. I feel like they're just really good videos. Anyway, so they've been binge watching our vlog, which is really interesting. They're watching it on the TV at their house. And I've heard a couple of people actually tell us that they watch our vlog on the TV, like they put YouTube onto the TV and watch it that way, which is strange to me. I'm like, I can't imagine sitting there and watching us on a TV, even though we do that sometimes. Or actually very frequently. We do it almost every single day. When Giselle and I eat dinner together, if we're not watching a TV show, we're almost always watching something on YouTube, casted onto our TV through Chromecast. So just curious how many of you guys watch stuff on YouTube on your TVs, because, I mean, we don't have cable. We don't care enough about watching stuff on TV to get any sort of cable anything. We have Netflix. That's actually my parents' Netflix that they let us use every day. And so, I mean, and we use it more than them, definitely. But they let us use it, which is great, which is really nice of them, very, very nice of them. And so we only watch Netflix and YouTube for the most part, pretty much. And sometimes we have to find TV shows and other sites and stuff like that. But we will generally only watch Netflix and YouTube. And YouTube, especially if we want to just watch something quick and we don't have to sit there for like an hour or even like a half hour watching a TV show or whatever. We just sit there and want to watch something quick while we eat and then go back to doing whatever we were doing. Then we'll watch something on YouTube a lot of the time, and it's become kind of a tradition for us to watch certain channels while we eat and stuff. So anyway, that is not all that stuff is not anywhere near what I wanted to talk about today, because something interesting happened that I actually did last night, and then I kind of got an update today about it that I didn't even mention yesterday. But what I really wanted to talk about in the vlog today was student loans, which is something I've never really talked about too much on here. Earlier when Steve was over here, we did the Q&A at our house in our living room, the 30-minute long Q&A on Steve's channel about him, where we asked him questions, and not you guys specifically, maybe, I don't know, but a lot of people on Steve's channel asked questions, and then we proceeded to answer them once a while ago, and then we did it again. I'm sure you all know this already. He came over, we did that, and when we were doing that, the subject came up of college, and because one of the questions was about that and involving him, and he mentioned that college it seems to be at this moment in time to be a lot of cost for not a lot of reward. The ratio of the cost to it being worth it in the end seems to be skewed a lot. And I kind of mentioned that, like, art school, definitely, it's not necessarily the most viable thing you should do with your time if you want to go into something that I'm doing, but kind of on a specific sense, but on a broader scale. Art-related things, I feel like art college especially, is not necessarily, looking back, is not necessarily the best thing. That's me, look at me wearing my college hoodie while I'm saying this. Whoops. But while I learned a lot at art school, and I don't necessarily regret the decision to go there because it's a great school and I learned a lot there and I became a better just creator of things because of it, the cost of what it was to how it eventually needed to be of use to me seems to be, I don't know, the ratio is just off because it costs a lot. Art schools and schools like this just cost a lot, and I was telling Steve about this, how much my student loans are every single month, how much we have to pay in my student loans. Unfortunately, Giselle and I have to pay them, and I feel really bad all the time. She's always telling, like, you have a job in this field, and you have a degree in photography, a bachelor's degree in photography, a 4-year bachelor's, a fine arts degree in photography, and now you have a job in that field, and that's more than I can say for a lot of people that I graduated with. I graduated with a class of other people that did all this kind of stuff with me, that also got photography degrees, plenty of people, dozens. It's not a huge school. I mean, it's to be expected, but definitely a very, very decent amount of people graduated with me with the same degree that I did, and I only know of, and sometimes I internet stalk people that I graduated with just to see what they're doing because I'm always curious how their paths went. But I'm one of the very, very, very small percentage, very few people, alarmingly few people, that seem to have a job in this field after getting a degree in it, which is, I have no idea how they're paying their student loans. I gotta be honest, I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I was telling Steve about this, about how much we pay, specifically how much we pay, and it's kind of crazy. It's definitely crazy. It's not kind of crazy. It is crazy. It's literally what my parents have a loan in their name that they help pay. That was the deal when we went to college. They would help me pay for a part of their loan that they put in their name, and I put money into that as well. And then I have ones in my name that I also pay. And we were kind of for a while kind of putting off repaying all these things. Like, you have a certain amount of time before you actually have to, like, really start repaying everything. So you have a couple years, and those couple years went by, and then now I have to pay into both, the one that my parents are in my parents' name, the one that's in my name, and together it's literally almost twice what our rent is, and and definitely more than all of our other expenses combined, like rent and food and like utilities and like all that kind of stuff that you have to get just to live on a daily basis or whatever. All that added up does not equal how much I had to pay in student loans. We had to pay in student loans every month because of the school that I went to, and that's for 10 years, and it's gonna be a little bit more than 10 years because of something I'm about to mention, for some of them at least. But anyway, my whole point is, I really, really enjoyed going to the school that I went to, and I learned a lot, especially about myself. I went for photography, and I ended up getting a concentration, which is a minor, basically. It amounts to the same thing, a minor in video and film arts. So lots of just that stuff related to that stuff, the stuff that I do now. I have a photography job that I do on a daily basis, and I love it. I'm not as much into the actually going out and taking pictures thing that I used to be into as much. I've gotten way more into retouching, which is perfect because I'm a retoucher now, and a retoucher-compositor, and I love that. It's like my favorite thing to do related to photography now. And I mean, we've had discussions about this at work, about how not all photographers are retouchers and not how all retouchers are photographers. And some of us are both. I have a degree in photography, and I used to do a lot more picture taking, but it's not necessarily what I'm passionate about anymore, the actual physical taking the picture. Like, we were discussing how, like, I wouldn't want to go out and do the thing that the photographers do at our studio all day long, every day. The company that I work for, the studio that I work in, I would not want to be one of those photographers. Honestly, I don't think I would have fun doing it at all. But I do have fun doing the retouching. I really like doing it. It's a lot of fun to me. And I like working at the computer in Photoshop on stuff and just like reworking things into what the final product is eventually going to be, and being that last step that really makes the thing come together. And I love envisioning that and being creative about that and just doing that in general. So that's great, and I've learned that now. I didn't necessarily know that coming out of college. What I did learn in college is how much I loved film and video, and now I do photography as a day job, and as a hobby I do lots of video making, and it's a perfect balance, in my opinion. I love it. It's one of the reasons why I'm so crazy about wanting to post so many videos all the time, why this vlog is always so important to me, why I would love to grow it in the future, why I would love to just make it more than what it is now, get a better camera, do more interesting things with it when I eventually have the time, maybe, I don't know, and the energy to do so. But, I mean, I don't know, I like doing all these things. But anyway, student loans, there's a lot of stuff involving that. And the reason I got on this huge tangent was yesterday, last night. I'm sorry, my mind is just all over the place right now. This is one big mess. Yesterday, when I was just kind of sitting around and doing stuff, I realized that a couple months ago I had applied to have my monthly loans that are in my name, the monthly amounts, the monthly payments, I wanted them to be decreased and like based more on like our income and all that kind of stuff. And I applied for this thing, and it didn't really go anywhere, and I don't really know why. And then I started to realize, like, okay, this didn't really go anywhere. Let me look into this. And something, I don't know what happened to the application, but I eventually looked more into loan consolidation. And so I applied for loan consolidation because it's several like separate little loans that are all combined, and all like I have to pay all at once, but they're all a bunch of littler ones that need to be combined into one. That's what consolidation does, is combine them all into one bigger loan that can be paid over more time and thus make payments less on a monthly basis, at least at first. It's the one I applied for is like it's kind of based on income. It's just based on what you can pay. And so the payments would start off lower right now, and over time, as the both of us start to make more money, as we get more into like put more time into our jobs and stuff like that, and just get more experience and just get more stuff out of the jobs that we have, and whatever. Like the more income we have, the more we'll pay monthly. So right now, it would just be a huge help to pay a little bit less in this, and then have it just kind of gradually get more as the years go by. And it's going to take a little bit over 10 years now to pay it back, unless so we can suddenly pay more back at once or something, which who knows, I don't know what will happen with it, but it'll definitely help us now. And I was reminded of it because I just got an email saying that the application went through, and that they should get back to me soon about it. And I thought I would talk about it for a minute. It's turned out to be a lot longer than a minute. I'm going to shut up now and probably go to sleep soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this long, rambly video. I don't know how interesting it was, but that's that. That's everything I wanted to talk about tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.